Bezos, Elon Musk. Yeah, everybody has an ego. Everybody's an ego. Right. But if you think Trump's ego, if you believe it got in the way before, or if you believe he's a narcissist and his narcissism got in the way before, you haven't been paying attention the last 2 months. And that's what's clear to me now, that it is a very different situation, a very different individual. And I think also, again, a historic level of support. How this happened? When historians write this, the toxicity has fallen away. It's a joke now. It is a joke. It's become a TikTok joke, kind of thing.
So where are we going to go? Now, what's going to be the plan?
Because it tends to fall away anyway with time.
Is Trump really going to deport all those people? Is everyone going to freak out? When are the riots going to start? Crazy things have to start pretty soon.
866-90 Red-Eye. Lines open for your calls. 866-90 Red-Eye on Red-Eye Radio. Progressive Commercial Insurance protects truck owners with specialized coverages for heavy trucks. Get a quote in as little as 5 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Aaron calling for a brand new trucker destination, Truckers Paradise. It's the nation's biggest travel center in Gainesville, Texas. Over 200,000 square feet of amenities like clean showers and restrooms. No wait fueling, a full-service steakhouse.
Looks like the world leaders are already buckling. That sounds fun. Watching for the alligators to swim by. Something I do at night when I have nothing else to do. Can't sleep, so I wait for gators to swim by. Watch the bugs. But what's anybody's opinion? I'm myself kind of glad Trump won. I think he won the last time too. But this time they couldn't quite pull it off. That big flash was a moth that flew over my light. But there it is again. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are your opinions? Someone's got to have an opinion. Hell, I don't even know if anyone can hear me. I don't want an electric car. I don't trust electric cars. I mean, hell, we live in Florida. Hurricane comes and all you've got is an electric car. You're going to get stuck out there on the highway, and then the salt water is going to blow it up. I don't need that in my life. I mean, we're pretty happy the way things are going, I'm not into all these special interest groups, and I think that hate crimes are bad for the world because it puts people in special classes, but then we're all the same people. If we're all the same, then we're all the same. I don't really understand. Hi, Brazil. How are you doing, buddy? My favorite battle bot is from Brazil, Riobots. Minotaur. But yeah, man, it's crazy. I'm in Lake Placid, Florida, and the FEMA department literally turned their back on us because we were all Trump supporters in Lake Placid, right here in this little bitty town. But FEMA literally turned their back on us. It's all over the news. And I don't know, it's kind of crazy. They're supposed to be helping us out. I mean, our taxes pay for them to help us out. But apparently you're not allowed to have opposing political views. So, what can you do? I mean, hell, after the last hurricane, it took people 6 months before they could even get their roof started fixed on. So I guess this has been going on longer than this. This time it appears that this time they just found out. They just found out that somebody that works for FEMA finally told on them and said, hey, look, we were told not to go to house that has Trump on it, and every damn house in this town has Trump on it. And that's not even a joke. I got the guy that lives on the lake next to us has a mannequin dressed up like Trump on his deck. Um, Trump flags. I mean, it looks like a little, I don't know, shrine to Trump out there in his backyard. I mean, right there on the deck. People in their boats. I don't know. He's crazy. Absolutely, Trump 24. I'd say Trump from now on. Hell, I mean, we can run Trump Jr. and then after that, Barron's probably be old enough to do it. You know, we can go Trump, Vance, Don Jr., then Barron. That really pissed them off. I just want what's right and what's best. I don't really. I don't even know. I don't. I just get kind of. I get sick of all that. I mean, I'm tired of being called a Nazi or a racist or a bigot or a homophobe. If you don't, I don't have to agree with you. I don't hate probably anybody. I don't have time to hate everybody. It's not all of these times that they're calling us names. We're not bothering anybody. Yeah, I agree. We gotta do something. I mean, we need some things. We got to get rid of all of these people that want so much war everywhere. I mean, why does America have to feel like we have to conquer everyone? We're not the world's police. I spent 24 years in the Marines. I'm well over this. I'm well over war. I've lost friends. I've lost family. I'm well over war. And we've got Republicans that are siding with Democrats that are everybody's just a bunch of liars. Washington is poison. Every bit of it's poison. It's disgusting. How do these people make millions and millions of dollars? How does AOC become almost a billionaire, or at least a multimillionaire, just because she got elected? It's because of insider trading. We can't do that. I mean, they tell us learn to code. Well, I guess they're going to have to learn to code because we're going to dig for oil for at least the next 4 years, and we're going to drill the hell out of Alaska for at least the next 4 years. I don't know, man. This is crazy, and they're trying to. I think that they're going to start an impeachment on Trump as soon as they can get around to it. They're not gonna lay down easy. They're not gonna give up. I already heard that Kamala's raising money to what did they say for a recount? I mean, what is it? 3 million votes or something? That's a lot of counting. But hey, if that's what they want to do, you can't recount the popular vote though. This swing state swung. People are tired of it. People are tired of it. I don't have nothing against trans people or gay people, but I don't want some dude in the bathroom with my daughter or my wife because I feel sorry for him because my wife will probably shoot him. I mean, you better hope I get to you before my wife does. And that's just a slice of reality. And I don't know. I don't really know what to talk about. I usually do this. I have a beer for breakfast morning show here every morning, and I have a sidekick that does it with me, and we kind of play off of each other. This is probably the first time I've ever done it by myself. But my wife's asleep. The dog's barking at probably a raccoon, and I don't see any gators out there swimming by yet. If it was a little bit earlier in the season, there would be manatees swimming by. It's a little too late in the fall for the little sea cows to swim by and come and eat the greenery that's all over the pond, those little lily pads. When the manatees are here, the lily pads are gone. They eat them up. Anyway, What are your opinions? I can't be the only one with opinions. And my opinions probably ain't right. But, I just do the best I can. I want everybody to be happy. I'm not a. I just want people to be happy and honest. That's all I want you to be is be straightforward. Don't don't feed me any of your bullshit and lies. Just I'm not overly enthused about Tim Scott getting anything. I mean Rick Scott getting anything. I don't like Rick Scott, even though he's a Republican. I don't like him. I don't like Tim Scott either, and I ain't too wild about Rubio. But the way I look at it is, I voted for Trump. Whatever he thinks best, I'm just gonna have to let him do what he thinks is best. Um, I regret that I voted for Bush twice, but the alternative wasn't any better. But I just really think that we have to get a control on all this war spending, and I think we need to tell Ukraine to go screw themselves. I'm really happy that finally we're gonna handle this border situation, because putting other citizens above your own citizens is bad business. It's not a good way to do things. But what can you do? I mean, all I do is just sit here and try to make sense of it all. I'm definitely not the voice of reason, but I just try to make sense of it all and hope that I die before shit really hits the fan. Because I think it's gonna hit the fan, and it's been way too quiet since the election. There's riots are gonna break out, folks, and it's gonna happen hard and heavy. It's not gonna happen down where I live, but in the cities, it's gonna happen in the cities. And they always say, "Well, we'll take it to the suburbs. Take it to the suburbs." But you bring your ass to Polk County, Florida, Lake County, Florida, Highlands County, Florida, Henry County, Florida. Our sheriffs openly say, "Shoot you." They say if someone comes near you, shoot them. And I'm telling you, these people down here got no problem with that. And it's not a bunch of rednecks like people believe. This is a retired mecca, Lake Placid, Florida. I mean, Jesus, my subdivision is banked on a lake called Lake Grassy, and it's called Sun in Lakes. What says more retirement than Sun in Lakes? Not A and D. It's Sun, the letter N, Lakes. Golf courses, churches. We got a Winn Dixie. We got a Publix. I mean, it's its own little village. We got 10 miles up the road. You got the Sebring racetrack where they do the Sebring 24 open wheel racing. I don't know. I don't get into that myself. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about any racing. I'm not a big NASCAR guy. I mean, I like to watch the wrecks and stuff, but I'm not that big. I'm not into all that. What I do know is that I love my country and I love my fellow countrymen and women. And I wish that everybody didn't hate everybody else right now. I find that unnecessary. I think that the Democrats at this point are a bunch of children that never got told no. And then when they don't get told no, they don't know how to react. Well, I've been told no a lot. I've been told no a lot. And I'm a better man for it. You don't always you don't always get what you want. Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do. That's just society. That's just the way of life. So they were beating up Jewish kids just for going to their own school. I mean, what the hell is that? It's at some point we've got to start fighting back. Now, I don't even think I know, other than a lawyer here on YouTube, other than him, I don't even think I know a Jewish person. I mean, I don't go around saying, "Hey, who did you vote for? Hey, what faith are you? Are you a Christian? Are you an atheist?" I don't care. And you're not supposed to care either. All I want you to do is not be a criminal, not try to hurt my family, and don't try to hurt anybody else. But that's just not the norm now. The norm is, I don't like what you said, so I'm going to kick your ass. I don't like what you said, so I'm coming after you. Well, you're going to come after the wrong one. Again, we don't have that problem down here. No, nobody messes with us down here because we're Florida men and women, and they don't have a whole lot of sense as it is. And if we have to go wild on somebody, we will go wild. But every everybody. I mean, the guy across the street from us, him and his father live there. He's our age. The father's in his 70s. I mean, they're black people, and we share our food. We cook for each other. We make something special. We take it to them. They make something special. They bring it to us. That's just that's normal. I hear people tell me all the time. They're like, "That's not normal." I'm like, "That's normal for us." Um, if it wasn't for the legal migrant workers here, our oranges wouldn't get picked. Our sugar cane wouldn't get picked. You would be amazed at how many vegetables come out of this black gold that we call the Hendry and Glades County. It's beautiful soil. Um, those migrant workers, seasonal workers, come here legally, and they pick all of that, bring it back. We're not talking about the stereotype of lawn mowing and hotel cleaning. We're talking about people working their asses off. I'm talking working their asses off. The people that are coming here getting a handout and a check, I'm not good with that because I'm not good with Americans getting a handout and a check. I don't think tariffs will hurt the economy at all. I really disagree. I respectfully disagree, but I disagree. Deportations will be good for America because it's going to save us money, and tariffs will be just fair trade. I mean, we have to pay tariffs when we send our stuff somewhere. Why doesn't people? It should be turnabout's fair play. If you don't want to buy our stuff, then why are we buying your stuff? If they can't send it over here at the price that Americans want, then they'll have to pay extra prices for stuff in America. How hard is that? Why not put your neighbor to work? Give your neighbor a job. No, we need all the deportations we can get, as long as it's not hateful. I never want I never want anything to be hateful to people, but when you break the law to come in somewhere, you gotta face the consequences because when it's time to go, and it's time to go. Like I said, I don't mean anyone any harm. I like people. I always want. I'm just like everyone else. I'd like for everybody to like me too. I just realize that's not a reality. And as uh-oh. Oh yeah, that's for Mark. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that anybody that breaks the law should have to pay for breaking that law. I don't think you should make up laws on them. I don't think that it should be special laws for special people. I don't know. It's just wild. Everything is wild. There's no rules. There's like no rules for anything. I mean, you can steal from people. You can go rob until now. I guess you can go rob a store for $900 and it's not even a felony. What kind of bullshit is that? And then they say, well, you have insurance for it. Well, guess what? Your insurance just went up. Just like when you buy a car, you insure your car. You wreck that car, your insurance just now doubled overnight, just like that. It doubled. Same thing with a speeding ticket. It doubles. What do you think these stores are going through? These stores are going through the same thing. They file their insurance. As a matter of fact, they have so much write-off that it's factored into their losses already because they know that people are going to steal. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I mean, I don't know why someone would expect to raise their family on a job at McDonald's. I mean, there are factory out there. You can get factories don't demand you have a college degree, and factories pay better, and it's a pretty solid schedule. Whatever happened to I'm going to do whatever it takes to raise my family. Now it's I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the government to raise my family. Fuck that. I ain't about that. I don't need. I don't. I'm going to find a way to do it myself, and if I can't do it myself, it's just like this FEMA thing. They ignored us, so we started doing our own thing, and I had to dig a pond. We had a lot that we had to do. Didn't have the money for it, but we had to make the money for it. And I disagree with that too. It would be different if they were buying stuff from us, but they're not buying stuff from us. Uh, America has enough people in it that if we just bought American, we wouldn't need the others to trade with us. And that's a sad fact too that nobody wants to deal with. Nobody wants to buy. They want their neighbors to have jobs, but they don't want to buy anything that their neighbors make because it costs more money. Well, our cost of living is higher. We're not allowed to use slave labor. We have a minimum standard that we have to pay people by. So you can't, this utopia that everyone wants doesn't exist in real life. I mean, it just doesn't exist. Tariffs are a punishment because of the way you treat us. That's in line. What's all Trump's doing? You treat us fairly, we'll treat you fairly. You treat us bad, all right. If you don't let our cars go over there, fine. And we won't let your cars come over here. And if we do, then it's going to cost you 100% in tariffs. That's just the way it goes. Until you play ball, I'm sorry. That's again just my opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and most of them stink. Man, everything that we do in this world affects our economy. I mean, you think that this immigration thing hasn't affected our economy? You think that all this theft hasn't affected our economy? All these riots, I'm sorry, peaceful protests didn't affect our economy? Come on, man. Well, no, that may be true, but war's a little bit of a different situation. I don't think we should have been in Afghanistan anyway, and I was there 3 times. So I don't know. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure we've been making deals with Russia for a lot longer than either of us have been alive. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, SK, is stop buying cheap shit. Get a better job, because you'll be able to get a better job once we start making stuff in America again. These McDonald's jobs and all that stuff was created. It was created for high school people and retired people to have something to do when they retire. It wasn't created. We had jobs. We made doors. We made door panels. We made cars. We customized cars. The real ones, not just the ones for celebrities. We did it. We did everything in this country. Yeah, I think Afghanistan was. I think Afghanistan was a mistake, but I got hurt over there, so I don't know. I'm not going to disagree with you there. Hold on a second. I got to let my dog in.
say if we wish to succeed, then we can't be Democrats any longer.
Anyway, I just think it's scary. I don't know. I'm really worried about the whole riot situation. Well, if America can't keep up the supply, then we adjust the trade. You can always adjust the trade. Nothing's written in stone. If America can't keep up, then it's time for America to build new factories. It's not. I mean that America can build factories. Matter of fact, all they got to do is reopen some of the ones that we already have. We gave our jobs away. We any business that sends their American designed and American product to another country to have made should be penalized to the high. They should be the worst penalized. They should be heavily taxed, and they should be tariffs on because they're destroying the American family. Sometimes the correction in our markets hurt, and if that means you're going to have to pay $3 for a product that you only pay $1 for now because it's made overseas, then you're going to have to either make your choice of buy the American loaf of bread or go to Panera and buy their expensive um, special part of America loaf of bread. I mean, I'm not talking down about McDonald's workers. I'm not. McDonald's workers are honorable, honest people. I'm not saying they're not, but McDonald's isn't a career path unless you're going for management. McDonald's is an after-school job. It's what it's always been. You know, maybe I didn't say I was. I didn't say I didn't start this saying that I had the answers or that I was smart. I just have opinions, and I started out saying my opinions may be wrong. I'm open, but I'm just not. I'm just not that guy. I'm just. I'm not going to tell somebody that. I think that you're fooling yourself if you think that you can feed your family off of a job at McDonald's. I think you're lying to yourself when you know that there are better jobs out there. I mean, it used to be it used to be kids bagging groceries after school, and now you got literal right here down the road at Publix. There's two cashiers that I know that are both have a bachelor's degree, and they're bagging groceries. I mean, Publix is a good job, I guess. I agree with you. People don't think, and that's a big part of the issue. People are so used to everything being handed to them and not being held accountable for their own. Hey, man, you make your own path in this life. What you do, you do most of the time to yourself. I mean, you know the decisions. You have to be responsible for the decisions you make in this life. Everyone else can't cover for you just because you made some bad decisions. It shouldn't matter. They pick their own major. Their bachelors, they pick their own major. If they picked it to be in the arts, and then that's what they did. That's on them. I mean, again, they're your choices. See, everyone thinks that just because you went to college and got a degree, it makes you this really smart person. Well, I have bad news for you. It doesn't. I dealt with a lot of officers in the Marine Corps. Really great people, very nice people. Good. They were not. Uh, they were not what I would call smart people, and they damn sure weren't leaders. It doesn't take. I mean, this whole thing, this whole mirage of a college degree being something that to be held up to be honored. I mean, for God's sakes, man, it's not. It's I don't. It's foolish to even require it for most jobs.
How many things in life, even bands and songs and everything else, how everybody's doing
I
it.
don't know.
You think that it's all well
I don't know.
organized. Right. It's just, they're just doing this.
I just don't think that.
This
I just don't think that a college degree is all that everyone wants to make out that it make out to be.
yeah, but they do it with a certain level of confidence. And I found out in life so many things that you think
I agree with
are
that,
well organized,
SK.
it's not. No. For example, David Bowie, when he first came out, remember the whole
Well,
song was like,
I haven't suggested that you made any
he's
claim.
gonna be weird, and remember the gender
I
bending
haven't
and everything
suggested
else.
you made any claim.
He was just, he
The
was
last thing I want to do is put words in someone's mouth.
drowning. He was like a year plus, a year before, he was singing children's songs.
I try to be a.
He didn't know where to go.
I try to be as middle of the road as I can. I mean, I lean right most definitely, but I'm also open-minded enough to know that there are very good people that lean very far left, and I have nothing against those people. I have nothing against them. But again, oh well, you asked me what their masters was in, so I don't know. I don't know. You might be talking to SK at this point. I don't know. Like I said, usually I do this. I have a partner, and I don't pay attention to chat. Wait, where's the perfect place to hide a body? Well, then let's actually talk about what money is. The yeah, you could hide a body out there in the back because it wouldn't take long before either one of the giant turtles or the snapping turtles or something would eat it. Oh yeah, it can be. I said earlier. I said McDonald's is fine if you're going for management. If you're shooting for management, yeah. I think here at the local McDonald's, I think that the manager there's making somewhere around 85,000 a year plus um I forgot what those are called now, but it's not benefits, but it's budget. When their budget comes in, when their budget comes in higher, they get a bonus, some kind of bonus. I forgot what it's called. I forgot. Anyway, I never worked there. When I was in high school, I worked at a place called Rax in Ocala, Florida. But I was born and raised on a cow farm, so we really had to work on the cow farm. And before school, then after school, we didn't really have time for after school jobs. But I was dating a girl that worked at Rax roast beef, and my mom and dad said, "Yeah, go ahead, get a job out there." So that's what I did until I went to the Marines. Money is a form of security, yes. I don't think everything in your life is dependent on how much money you have or make. I think that money gives you your choices or helps you make your choices. Just because you want a Ferrari doesn't mean you get one. Is my point. Is you can still get your own. You have to lower your expectations on what your reality is. I mean, I don't see. I don't understand. I don't understand how people that use EBT cards and food stamp cards are walking around with $2,000 iPhones. I don't understand that. Well, no, I don't know that I understand that question. What does the billionaire have to do with the poor person? the billionaire made better choices, or someone in their family made better choices. I mean, you can't punish success. If you do, then you live in a communist country and the state owns everything, which is right about where we were headed. Oh, I know that there are people who Jesus. I realize that there are people who legitimately can't afford to eat. I live around a bunch of them. There's a company here, organization here in Lake Placid called New Hope that just delivers food every week to people that are hungry. So I know that that exists. But whose fault in the end is it that that exists? It's not the billionaire's fault. It's not the rich person down the street's fault. It's not my fault. I mean, the fault can't. At some point, you have to say, man, I really fucked up. I should have saved more money. I should have done better. I should have had a better job. I should have tried harder. You got to wear your own weight in this world, man. Most billionaires these days do not inherit shit. You need to research that. Most of the billionaires out there today got their money on computer bullshit. Most billionaires didn't inherit shit, and most millionaires didn't inherit shit. Hating the rich people won't get you. How many jobs has a poor person ever given you? Yeah, but see, that's something else that you're saying is just not true. They pay taxes on a different scale because they pay so much more taxes. But if you are a billionaire and you own a business, let's say that guy that Trump worked at the McDonald's, I think they said he owned like 10 McDonald's. All right, let's say that he only pays 12% income tax, whereas we pay maybe a 20. He also hired 10,000 people, and all of those people create taxes, and he pays taxes on those 10,000 people. He pays money on the money that he earned off of those 10,000 people. If you'll be honest, the billionaire pays 3 times what we're paying in taxes. Nobody just wants to admit that. I mean, they don't want to see it. If you've ever owned a business, all it takes is owning a business, and you'll understand exactly how quick the billionaire pays more than his fair share. Hold on. You're right. We are the ones that end up paying the tariff, but only if we decide to buy those products. Again, you don't have to buy those products. You can buy American-made products that aren't hit by the tariff. What we're doing now is we're punishing American-made products by using slave labor from China, Vietnam, and everywhere, just about, where they're using slave labor, and we're being punished for it. The American person that builds things is being. I have a merchandise company, and we do our own embroidery. We do everything here in house, and you can get it done 3 times less if you just go and buy it from China. Well, I can't. So it's me that's being punished. It's not you. Yeah, I don't know where you get that from, Fox. Um, what company wants to break even? That just that sounds insane. That's right, key lime. Ooh, like that name, key lime. Wish I had some key lime pie right now. I had a neighbor one time that made a key lime pie, but instead of key limes, she used oranges because we have an abundance of oranges here. It was the best tasting thing I ever tasted, I think. And my wife has tried to recreate that orange lime pie or whatever, but she made it exactly like you do a key lime, but used orange juice. And I'm telling you, we can make key lime pies like it's nothing. And my wife can't pull off that orange pie. No, we will all pay more. It doesn't hurt us. It doesn't hurt us because right now no one has anywhere to work because they've sent. We're trying to incentivize our American companies to bring their shit back to America. If there's no, if all right, look at it this way: if everybody's got a job that's just making minimum wage or $10 or $12 an hour, where they're living paycheck to paycheck, they aren't going to be able to buy anything anyway. Oh, it's definitely 1984. If you don't believe so, walk around my house. I've got about 10 security cameras all around here. One of them right now is over there on my lake. That ain't my lake. Yeah, it's been 1984 for a long time. A lot of them don't make money. Most new businesses don't make money in the first place. So I don't know what you're saying there. I don't know. I've run a business. I've run business the whole time I was in the Marines, and I ran this business the whole time that I've been out. And it's harder. There people don't believe you when I say it, but a lot of times employees make more than I do because I have a lot of things to pay. Hey, look, man, workers' comp insurance will break you in this country. You have no idea. And then all it takes is one or two of your people to either get an injury or, in most cases, fake an injury, and you're screwed. I can't let anyone into my shop because I'm afraid they might pretend to slip and fall on something. I'm terrified when someone walks in and the clothes racks are everywhere and they'll be looking at a shirt. Well, I'd like to have you to embroider this one, and then all of a sudden they fall. It's you have no idea the liabilities of just starting a business. Anybody that has the courage to start a business these days ought to be applauded. No, they don't have any idea. In money and time, they have investing to start a small business these days in real life. It's very difficult. Well, again, you're missing the point, Fox. If there isn't enough product in America, then there will be new businesses built to make that product. Supply and demand will decide if we need that product or not. I mean, how many you drive by a car lot? One guy owns 10 car lots in one town, and the car lots are full of cars. Do they need to be full of cars? We're buying more shit to bring over to this country than we need. A lot of that can be made right here. You just pay 20 cents more for it. I literally know a guy that drove almost 30 miles out of his way to save 8 cents on a gallon of gas when he was only putting 10 gallons of gas in his car. I shouldn't supply a safer environment. I don't think that my environment is the problem. I think that someone wanting to screw me on a slip and fall is the problem. I think that everybody wanting to play the lawsuit lotto is the problem. It's not me that's the problem. I got a wheelchair ramp. I did what I was supposed to do. I had to put a wheelchair ramp in, mind you, but I've never had a customer that used a wheelchair. But that's something else. Stupid laws. We've got too many stupid laws to make people feel good about themselves. And I'm not arguing with you, Fox. Make no mistake. There's a big difference between not agreeing and arguing with somebody. No, I don't think Trump wants to cut workers' rights. I think you're wrong about that. I don't. I think he should blow up the union. America's got enough people to supply anything that you want supplied. That's just shit talk right there. I ain't even hearing that. I ain't even hearing that. We got more than enough people to do what people need to do. I ain't even hearing that. You turn off welfare and any AFDC, you'll find out how fast people can find jobs if they want one. Yeah, I just don't think you understand how supply and demand works. Things will skyrocket if there are no more products to back up the original products being built. No, they do other things off of what they get from workers' comp, my man. Oh, I know how much. I can break it down for you. How much? It's 2/3 usually of what their paycheck is. But see, they're doing other things to supplement that, and not always, but most of the time. I don't personally trust it myself. No, I don't think that Trump said that he wanted to take away workers' rights. Are you saying that because you're a union person? See, I'm not a union person. I don't think seniority in a job should dictate whether you get to stay there or not. I think that your ability to do the job better should be how that works out. And that's not, to me, workers' rights. That's welfare. I don't know. My dad was a union official for the meat cutters union, which is part of Teamsters for years and years and years. Matter of fact, he was a strong union man till he died. But he also watched that union take his men and women that worked for him that were making in the 70s, that were making $25 and $30 an hour, to wait until around 1985, and shut them down to about $8 an hour because they got illegals to come and they cut the meat for them, and the unions didn't stop it. And that's a fact.
Explaining precisely what he plans on doing. Workplace rates are coming back here. First off, they'll go after all the criminal, illegal.
Hot products are always going to be more expensive. I mean, pet rocks used to be $4 a piece. Microwaves in the 80s were $400 and $500 a piece. If something's really hot at the moment, it's going to be more expensive. So guess what? You wait. Give me a second. I have to run in and make sure that my wife's doing all right. So most Americans make adjustments. They can afford tattoos and cigarettes. Be right back.
This administration, or not the last yet. The Biden administration never explained it. Right. Karine Jean-Pierre never explained anything. She deflected. Biden is hardly out there, and he was all over the place when he was trying to explain something. And when it came to the biggest things out there, the biggest concerns that Americans have, all of it was a lack of communication or lying. Yeah. On inflation. Remember what we got on inflation? It's transitory. It's good. It's good. That's the best. It's good. How can inflation be good? People are spending more money. Right. Since something costs you more money, you're spending more money, and therefore it's good. I mean, the insanity of the things that they were promoting, and on the border, how long was the border secure? You remember Mayorkas, it was maddening. He wouldn't answer any questions. Yeah. And so you had an administration that said, we're just not going to communicate anything that we're doing.
Dog knows he's not supposed to be on the couch.
A significant portion of what we communicate will be absolute lies as to what's going on. And then everything else, you look, for example, with Israel, they want to cover both sides of it. That, I don't know when that was, but it went viral. Marco Rubio talking about Israel. Slam dunk. No, Hamas. Destroy Hamas completely, totally, that's it. Yeah, that's the kind of clarity that it seems like is coming. It seems like this is what this incoming administration, wants to promote. And what
Some unions are all right. Some unions are bad, I guess.
the Democrats would not communicate because they knew they couldn't communicate what they were actually doing because the American public
I'm not a union person either.
This makes it really interesting.
Well, like I said, but my mom and dad were all about it.
Because now the toxicity of Trump is gone. I mentioned earlier, it's almost a joke.
No, that's true, Will.
Because you bring up the result of the toxicity.
That's true.
And it would be
The
number of liberals.
The Wu flu did a lot of damage to this country. The Wu flu did a lot of damage, and it's still doing a lot of damage to this country. But what can you do, man? When you got Bill Gates type people out there running around creating these little things, and Fauci, you kind of have to expect these sort of things to happen. I guess, man. Like I say, I'm not a scholar. I'm just an old jarhead.
How many people disagree with that? We're going to find the children. How many people disagree with that? Criminal legal aliens.
Will, you're absolutely right. For the longest time, my father got paychecks from the government not to raise hogs, and we were a cattle ranch, never had a pig on the farm that wasn't wild, and they gave him a check every month, so he wouldn't raise hogs. So, yeah. Well, you're right. I've got a friend that owns a Van Wagner's Dairy up in Marion County, Florida, right across from the high school I went to, and I've actually seen that happen too. Yep, it happens all the time. That's the level of corruption we're at, I am afraid. And it's extremely disgusting. It's disgusting that we allow people to get away with that. And it's our government doing it. I mean, I remember as a kid, I would honestly think, well, it really doesn't. The FDA wouldn't let us eat anything that would hurt us. Jesus Christ. I love being in Florida. I was born and raised here. I love it. I mean, my Twitter handle is Florida Man RJ. I love it that much. Exactly, Will. That's what they won't let you. They won't even let you donate the food. No, we didn't vote yes for weed, Fox. Florida did not. I was shocked. I expected all the old hippies that lived out in the villages would have voted for that. I don't know why they didn't. But yeah, Will, there's so much food that's wasted. My wife retired from the school food service. She was a food distributor for them. And she told me stories about this, how they would just throw food away. They would just throw it away. It wasn't even out of date, wasn't anything. They just didn't need it, and they had bought too much. They just threw it away instead of taking it somewhere and giving it to people that needed it. Wait, what star? Oh, that's not a star. That's the guy's deck across the street. That's his deck light. All of that white stuff that you see, that's mosquitoes, y'all. That's the truth. When you see those white flushes, that's bugs. Yeah, I don't know. I think that the problem that Florida had with the weeds, with weed, is that they were only going to let the big companies come down here. I think that most people that I know, most conservative people that I know, would have said, sure, legalize it if they were going to let people grow the weed themselves in their own backyard. Like if I wanted to throw 20 plants back there in my backyard, but that's not what they did. They didn't want you growing your own. So, I my history is the military, so I didn't smoke pot. I still don't. But my brother-in-law was a big weed head. He used to say the last thing that he wanted was for the government to legalize it because then they would get it, add chemicals to it, sell it to Philip Morris, put filters on it, and then send you some bastardized product.
They went to groups and people, and they were still winning elections. And it didn't this time. And I think a lot of it has to do with the number of people who are now standing up, who were liberals or who were being targeted by the right.
Yeah, when the Fed fucks everything up. God have mercy. If the Fed would just leave us alone, I mean, what they did to what was his name, Amos, whatever, the raw milk guy. I forgot his last name. I mean, because he sold raw milk to someone like me, the Amish guy. They're like, oh no, raw milk's not safe, so you can't drink it. Well, Jesus, what do you think your mama drank, you fool?
It's easy to be blunt and communicate effectively when you know you're doing what the American public wants, and if the other side is
Yeah, Fox. I think that one of the smartest thing Trump did was come out in favor of legalizing marijuana or at least decriminalizing it. Because that if you just decriminalize it, or maybe even just legalize it, keep the feds out of it, but don't regulate it. Because once you start throwing regulations in everything, it screws everything up. Regulations are always a problem.
It all comes down to what issue do Democrats have. And I go back to where
It's just so much easier, I think, to. I don't believe that weed is a gateway drug. My brother-in-law never started doing coke or heroin or anything. My sister never. She just smoked a little bit of dope. That's it. I mean, dope these days are different though. When they were kids, this shit nowadays, I see people doing some crazy shit. Have a good night, Will. Thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you.
I don't know what one issue is, but what is the core of issues that the Democrats can have? And we mentioned Ezra Klein, who said, well, the Democrats have to realize that scarcity is killing them, that people want an abundance.
Yeah, see, there's nothing going out, a whole lot going out on that lake tonight. It's gator hunting season. I'm surprised that I haven't seen any boats swing by. They like to go, and a lot of night fishermen fish underneath my deck a lot of times, or my dock, whatever you call it, boat slip. And a lot of people fish underneath there a lot at night. Good catfish underneath there, but no one's out there tonight.
Because the oceans will boil. The oceans will boil. That's what he said. What an idiot. Yeah. This is the smartest guy in the world. He's an idiot. Right. And then he jumped on the plane that's designed for one person. It's the biggest plane in the world.
I agree with that too, Fox. And also, I mean, everybody knows what the cost of weed is. Everybody seems to accept that that's the cost. That's what it should be. If they're charging, I don't know. I have no idea what a gram of weed costs or an ounce. But if it costs you X amount of dollars for an ounce of weed right now on the streets, it should be a little bit less than that if you're getting it legal because there's no risk involved. So you make it less, you sell it for less, not more in the store. Because if you're buying legal weed legal, then there should be no reason for the rise in the cost of the weed. Because one of the reasons the drugs are so expensive is because of the risk involved. Remove the risk, you remove the criminalization behind it. They're all talking about, well, we're going to make sure that it doesn't have fentanyl in it. Bullshit. Listen, man, all these cops. I'm not a bit. Hey, look. First of all, I might be a Republican, but I'm not one of those back the blue some bitches. All those back the blue people. What were they saying when those cops were locking people up for going to church and not wearing masks? So no, you got the wrong one for that. But the madness is the madness. You've got these police saying one the size of a piece of salt fentanyl is enough to kill 5 people. Well, if that's it, then why aren't these drug dealing dogs, these drug sniffing dogs, dying? Are dogs immune to fentanyl? Why aren't the cop dogs dying? If just one little sniff of it, these cops act like it's one little touch, and we're gonna have overdose on fentanyl. But here, let my dog go sniff all around this car. And so, but the dogs never get hurt. Well, the dogs get shot, but I mean, all in all, the dogs aren't dropping dead from the fentanyl. So what kind of bullshit is that? I mean, this is our government lying to us. The government lies to us every turn. No matter, I don't care if you vote for the purple or the Green Party, the Jill Steins or whoever. All they do is lie to us. I don't. That isn't what they were trying to sell us, Fox. They were saying that the cop. They said not to even touch fentanyl, not to even touch it. And I'm not too sure that I'm not too sure ingestion is ingesting is ingesting. If they get that powder sniffed up their nose, it's going to get in them because of the mucous membranes in the nose. It breaks it down quicker. That's why people snort drugs more than they take them. I'm not saying the smell of fentanyl will knock them out, but I'm saying that the residue, that the police say the residue is what will kill them. I don't believe in that shit either. You think those particles don't go up those dogs' noses? What do you think smell is, man? It's like the scent in itself is a particle. I don't know. I'm just going by what the I got this local radio guy I listen to. Well, before I started my morning show, I listened to him every day, and he would always say, "All it takes is the grain and the size of a grain of salt, and it'll kill you." And I'm like, "Well, why aren't the people making it dead? Because they can't be that sanitary, man. You know, it's just not that sanitary." I think that it was all this big hoax to scare the shit out of people, just like COVID, big hoax to scare the shit out of people. It's maddening. We are a nation that is controlled by fear, and most of it's fake fear. They tell you to be scared, so you go, well, shit. If the government says be scared, then we got to be scared. I don't trust anything the government says. I don't like cops. Um, I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the CIA. And I spent way too much time in the government to trust anything. I'm just telling you, man. I'm telling you. I have a well-established career with the Marines, and never even been disciplined. I've seen so much bullshit by the government that almost everybody in the government should be arrested for crimes. I don't think COVID killed that many people. The flu kills that many people. No, I disagree. I'm not saying COVID was fake. I didn't say it was a hoax. I don't believe that. I just believe that it was just another random flu that people got. And when you start putting people on ventilators out of panic, then people die. I mean, the truth is going to come out here in the next 2 years. But I didn't get a vaccine. My wife didn't get a vaccine. My kids didn't get a vaccine. And thank the Lord or whoever, none of us have ever had COVID. Hell, I haven't even had the flu in 6 years. I mean, I'm not all that healthy anymore. I'm not getting up and running with the units every day like I was. I mean, I'm getting a belly on me and drink too much beer. Actually, I only drink beer for breakfast because that's my morning show. But it sucks though. We're getting better at it. But I'm not saying that any of it. I think that most of our ailments the government has created to test us. I think that we're all test rabbits. Even though you might not believe it, that's what I believe. Yeah, I think that they did. They thought that they could all see a profit from it. Yeah. Just like right now, all the same people that hated Trump are kissing his ass right now. I mean, Mexico already stopped have put a stop to the people coming across. They're all pretending to love Trump now. So it's all a game. No, I think that the fear that no, I don't believe that it was a hoax. I don't believe that COVID was fake. I don't believe COVID was fake. I believe that the fear that they created, that they tried to keep you scared, I think that is where the fakeness was. There was no reason to lock up the whole country. Listen, man. All right, I don't know how to say your name. I don't know if you're a man or a woman or a Z or Zim or Zoes, but listen, Cuba is a third world country. If COVID was as bad as they said, Cuba would be empty. Haiti would be empty. The Dominican Republic would be empty. Half of Mexico and anything south of Mexico would be empty because they didn't have the vaccines, but they had COVID. So why aren't all of those places empty right now? I mean, you have to think a little bit on your own and stop being led. These people in these other little bitty island nations that don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, they're not sick and they're not dead. So, about the only people that died here were sick people and old people that they put on ventilators. That's just the reality. I'm sorry if it offends you. But yes, I think COVID was very real. COVID's been around for a long, 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 long time. They just changed the numbers around, but it's still COVID. You can go look at medicine bottles from the 80s and it says this treats COVID. Well, people were able to leave their houses. Businesses still work. Um, Places like Amazon, look up and see how many billionaires were created during COVID alone in America alone. What about cancer? You know, cancer is really just something that they don't have a name for. Sooner or later, we're all going to get cancer if we live long enough. Oh, okay. So I guess that Cubans are a different kind of human being than we are, right? So they just immune to COVID. Amazon didn't make the kind of money that they made during COVID. You're failing to understand how much money was made during COVID and how much money was made by the pharmaceutical companies during COVID. And if you'll notice that the liquor stores weren't closed during COVID, the cigarette stores, the corner stores weren't closed during COVID. Um, the only thing that was really closed during COVID was the things that the government was trying to work on and regulate. You remember 5 years ago, every Walmart was a 24-hour Walmart. Now there's almost no 24-hour Walmarts. I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I learned a little different than that, but that's all right. You know. That's the point. It was. It was all. It was all part of it. It was. It would look, man. They knew that certain. They knew that certain businesses were going to strive and be fine. They wanted to weed out the weak, and they wanted to decide to see if they could really control the public, scaring them the way that they did. I mean, for God's sakes, if you can smell a fart through a mask, it's not keeping COVID out. No, the wait, whoa. I haven't seen a 24-hour Walmart since the day COVID started. I haven't. All these stores that were open 24 hours, none of them, at least in my area, have gone back to being open 24 hours. A lot of them have now stayed closed on Sundays. Well, of course, it's their decision to keep the hours. Jeez.
Richard Allen showed no emotion when the jury in Delphi, Indiana, convicted him of murdering two eighth-grade girls in 2017. There was no DNA evidence
Because of control. Now, I'm not gonna entertain this. I'm just not. I'm not gonna. I respect you, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go into why I think that.
more than 60 times. The defense calling them false confessions, saying he was psychotic from months of solitary confinement. But the jury listened intently to Allen.
Well, I'm glad you worked at Walmart during COVID, because you guys had the special. Y'all got the special air pumped in because people at Walmart couldn't get COVID, liquor stores couldn't get COVID, cigarette stores couldn't get COVID, all of those places couldn't get COVID. But if you owned an embroidery shop in downtown Lake Placid, boy, you couldn't open because we could get COVID, but you Walmart employees couldn't get it. Damn right.
United Nations Climate Summit Top 29
Yeah.
this year's off to a rocky start. 9 hours of backroom victory over what the agenda should be the next 2 weeks.
I don't understand what road you're going down there, Foxy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think the big businesses wanted to reset, and they saw that reset with COVID. They said, "Oh, we can kind of get back to normal." So if you're essential, they didn't care if you died if you were essential. Was it worth that $8 an hour to put your life at risk so people could buy cigarettes, beers, and chips and toilet paper? You still believe in that lie, man?
Extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
Essential worker.
Major airlines.
Doctors were dancing on TikTok.
For a
Nurses dancing on TikTok, screaming about how busy they were on Twitter. Who you kidding? I don't know what you're talking about. The original standard was they were open from 9 till 9 and they were closed on Sunday. That's the original Walmart mantra. That's what they did. Everything in that store was made in America. Are we going to talk about going back to that normal now? Because then if we do, then you're going to start crying again about how things are going to cost more. Because you can't buy Chinese crap from Walmart.
You can now share its Apple AirTag tracking information with the airline. When luggage goes missing, there have been countless stories about passengers being able to see where their bags are with Apple AirTags, but the airlines not
Trump was fun, if nothing else. If nothing else, you knew what he was thinking. He knew what he was thinking. I like that. I respect that. The crickets are loud out there tonight.
And I'm Richard Cantu, ABC News.
Bioptimizer's Black Friday blowout sale is now. For 20 years, Bioptimizers have provided top supplements like Magnesium Breakthrough, the only product with all 7 types of magnesium to support sleep, stress management, hormone balance, and mood. Make your health a priority this holiday season and visit bioptimizers.com/radio.
Wait, that was one of what people?
To get a minimum of 10% off.
I wasn't essential. I assure you I wasn't essential. I also didn't go to Walmart. But the only reason I didn't go to Walmart is the closest Walmart is in Sebring, Florida. And that's about 50 miles away. We did order a lot of delivery from Walmart, though. Which is how it really should have all been done. If there was really a scare, they should have just had postal workers. You guys stayed in the store, lived in the store, never let out until the COVID thing was over. And then once everything was safe, it'd be like living in one of those nuclear shelters type things.
As we head through the overnight, looking good. Temperatures down to the 70s. Then as we take into Tuesday, a few showers could be around. We'll look for temperatures in the upper 80s. Rain chance of about 20%.
Portions of this program have been pre-recorded. It's Red Eye Radio. Talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day.
You're missing my point, though. If you're still here, Fox, you bought into it too hard. They basically said your life didn't matter because people wanted cigarettes, beer, and chips. So that made you essential. The guy at the liquor store, his life didn't matter because booze was essential. The guy at every corner store in the country, his life didn't matter because he was essential. But the guy that owned the local laundromat, he wasn't essential. The guy that owned the local embroidery shop, him and his wife, well, they weren't essential. None of those people were essential. The only people who were essential were who the government deemed were essential. And what does the government have tax on? Alcohol and cigarettes, gas. So I don't know how they factored that in. I guess because they kept the semis moving. So don't give me that essential worker bullshit. I ain't playing that. Again, I'm not just trying to disrespect you. I'm just giving you my opinion. And as I stated early on, everybody's got opinions. Opinions are like assholes, and most of them stink. So, I mean, I openly say that my opinions are probably wrong in most worlds, and my wife will be the first to tell you that I'm wrong more often than I'm right. And I don't mind that.
For me, it'll be easier because after I had to show my 75 forms of ID and proof of birth in the United States.
Don't everybody get quiet on me. I don't want to be here by myself doing this,
Yes.
talking all alone.
And wait in a room, just sitting there, and just the one chair in the room here just sits there. We're going to come back with the answer.
Doing pretty good on my views, I guess.
It took about,
I might have to do this every night.
yeah, a lot of people get theirs in 3 or 4 days.
You like me. You really like
I
me.
think we know why. Jerry.
I think this is pretty good. Pretty good interaction. Had a good time.
I say bring in your phone. Jerry.
Surprised that I actually got the computer to work.
Yeah. Right. So, what's going on there? You
Wonder if I'm still wondering if they kicked me off the stream or something.
Did your company? That's what you're trying to say. I need to pay for it. Right.
Guess not.
Who owns the company, though?
People are still watching.
Who would that be? 'Cause I
Somebody
don't know.
talk to me.
Last night
We can talk about the gators. Well, there's one lily pad that's moving out there, so something's underneath it.
Babylon B. New information.
The bugs are still out there. I would go out there and grab my camera, but I'm not about to get chewed up like that. So anyway, we see that the all the national leaders, I mean, they were putting on their "Make America Great Again" hats. So I guess you get to see where their loyalties lie. It lies in their pocketbook. Because if they hated him last week, but they don't hate him this week, what changed? Russia's cooperating with the peace deal in Ukraine, which is good. Because we got to, again, it always comes back to war for me. I just spent too much time in combat to know that I don't like war. I don't like people fighting. And I don't think that it's our job to police other countries. If that country isn't free, that ain't none of our damn business. If America truly cared about freedom and truly cared about rights, we wouldn't be buying shit from China where they use slave labor to make the products. We wouldn't even allow Apple to sell any product here. We wouldn't allow Nike to sell products here. Because if it's made with slave labor, it should not be allowed in our country if we are against slavery. If we are a country truly against slavery, then we would not allow products into our country that's made with slave labor. Full fucking stop. And that's a fact. Nothing is more disgusting than slavery in this world. Well, maybe people that hurt children, but still it's all in the same group of horrible, vile people that need to be taken care of because it's a horrible way to go and live life. But, you know, who am I to say? I'm just here watching gators.
That's it right there. You have an administration coming in that says, we're going to explain stuff. We're going to communicate effectively.
Where did everybody go?
And for you, because we were criticized very heavily.
Where did everybody go?
The GOP and Trump of not communicating effectively. I mean, we were one of the leaders in that.
That's weird.
You've got to communicate the message.
Everybody's talking to me, and then all of a sudden, no one's here. It's kind of freaky.
You know, we're not going to back off. But
kind of freaky.
Just communicated incredible. Trump has shown incredible discipline.
It says I'm still alive.
Said, and this is not an insult. Trump has become an.
Let's see here. Hooty hooty hoo. It's still working, so apparently I'm doing all right. Apparently, just no one wants to talk to me anymore. Well, my feelings are hurt. I guess Foxy left. Well, let's see. What else can I talk about? There's a company called Mundo's Coffee that goes by Mundo's because it's better than Starbucks, they think. They made us a special coffee called Obscure Destinations Campfire Blend. And you can get them at mundos.com, I think. I don't know. Nice people. Well, the deers are probably on the other side of the lake drinking. We don't know. And, you know, our deers down here in Florida are about the size of dogs. So it's really hard to see them anyway. I mean, we don't have big deer here. I mean, they're cute, I guess, but they're tasty. They're very tasty deer. Make really good deer sausage. We like deer. Venison is a good meat, good, stable, hearty meat. I'm more interested in where the gators are, to be honest with you, because they should be out there now, but what serious issues you want to talk? We can talk them. You name it. I'll roll with you on just about anything you want to roll with. Not tonight. I haven't caught anything tonight, but this is a bass lake, mostly just bass. We feed off of Lake Okeechobee. Speaking of issues, serious issues, water management and these big U.S. Big Sugar, has poisoned our lakes with all their pumping water all through the Keys, messing up the Florida Keys, all through the Everglades. I use well water here. We have to filter our own well water because Big Sugar has poisoned all of our well water. The fish aren't safe to eat in most of the places because any of these places that feed off of canals, all the chemicals that they use to grow the sugar cane, flies that brings those chemicals out. Oh, we can talk serious if you want to talk serious issues. We can get into it. And I'm not even an environmentalist, but I know poison when I see it. And when you walk out one day and your lake looks crystal clear like a natural spring, and then 4 days later it's kind of red with dead fish floating on the top, you kind of figure, well, they poisoned us again. They go out and spray these chemicals on these lily pads and everything to make it better for the sports fishermen from the bass clubs and all these Yeah, the plutonium probably did leak in. What leaked in is Roundup and fertilizer and everything else. But they spray these chemicals on these lily pads so that the sports fishermen can come here and feed our economy. Oh, I think that there will be an attack on Trump too. I think that there will be an attack on Trump again, and I think that there will be they will try to impeach him. But I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a flag waver for Trump. I'm a flag waver for freedom, is what I am, and I think that Trump offers us freedom. That's what I think. I think that freedom is what's most important and paramount in this world, and I like freedom. Freedom is one of those things that matters most. You still hear Woody Wood? There's a lot of catfish out there. There's a lot of brim, speck, bass. There's all the native fish are out there, but I don't know if you've ever had a fish tank, but they have those. I forgot what they're called. Jeez, it's a cichlid. Oscars. Those big Oscars. Well, the lakes ate up with the big Oscars, and they taste good, but they eat all the other fish. The people let them go in their fish tank, and now they're all over the place. But at least they taste good. As for the pythons that you didn't ask about, I've seen a couple pythons. Yeah, I hope not, Faith. Oh, I hope not. The pythons, I don't think they're as bad as people say they are. I do a lot of frog gigging because I like frog legs. I'm in the Everglades all the time. I haven't run near 2 or 3 of them, maybe the whole time. I don't see them. I see a hell of a lot more alligators than I do pythons. I'm just not believing the hoax. I think it's another one of those government mind tricks that everybody watch out for the pythons. I don't think I believe the whole python bullshit either. And if I didn't live here and see it, I might feel differently. But I live here and I see it. I mean, yeah, we got the python cowboy. You know what we do got that's a problem is iguanas. 4 and 5 foot long iguanas that will ruin you. They will whip your dogs. They will whip your cats. And they say iguanas are only vegetarians. That's not true. That's not true. So yeah, you want to talk serious subjects? We can talk serious subjects. We need to get rid of invasive species and illegals, which is an invasive species. In my opinion. Full disclosure.
And what we realized, that's when we learned about projection. That people project on you what they are. And what we found out,
yeah, I hope Biden doesn't decide to do a full-on nuclear war before Trump gets there. I don't think Biden will. I think Biden, when he put on the Trump hat, he was letting you know that he was all Kamala. He wanted Kamala. I mean, he wanted Trump. He wanted to hurt Kamala is what he wanted to do. And he did. And he hurt her. But she wasn't qualified. She wasn't qualified to be vice president. I mean, I would say at least she's a nice lady, but I don't even think she's a nice person. I mean, her staff hated her. Her first 4, they were quitting as soon as they got elected. They were talking about how mean she was. I don't like mean people. I don't like hateful people. That's why I can never be a Democrat, because I'm not going to hate you just because you like something I don't like. I don't like broccoli either. Actually, that's not true. I like raw broccoli. I don't like it cooked. It smells like a fart if it's cooked. But, just because you don't like something doesn't mean you hate it. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean you don't like them. I've been married to my wife for a very long time, and me and her don't agree half the time. I love her. I think she's wrong, but that's okay. She thinks I'm wrong. So, I mean, that's the part that we got to get back to. You can peacefully disagree with someone else. Just because your opinion and just because your opinion doesn't align with theirs doesn't make them bad people. And just because we've got to get to a point in America to where you have to agree to disagree. You don't have to. I just saw on Twitter last night that this woman said that her aunt wasn't invited to the party or to Thanksgiving because her aunt voted for Trump. What kind of bullshit is that? A country that you hate, you're letting dictate whether you love your family or not. What the fuck bullshit is that?
Get a quote in as little as 5 minutes.
That shit doesn't even make sense, man.
If you're in
I
an
don't
area
know.
that's going to get a dose of winter,
It's
you
painful.
can protect your diesel with Howe's Diesel
It's
Treat.
painful.
Starting
Anyway, I've
with
had my fun here tonight, y'all.
Diesel Treat is guaranteed to prevent
I
jello,
might do this again some other time. This was pretty fun.
making sure your truck
It was really nice having everybody talk back to me, and
is best. And if you face crazy cold temps, make sure you
even if you didn't agree,
Howe's Diesel Lifeline.
I thought it was a good time had by all.
Icing emergencies.
See y'all the next time. I might do it again tomorrow night.
15 minutes or less.
Stay tuned at 7:10 this morning. We're gonna do beer for breakfast with me and Tim, and that's always fun. But have a good night, everybody. Take care.